Duelist Club for life.
My name is Justin. I'm part of the Duelist Club, and I day 2 at Texas Nationals of 2018 with True Draco. Now let's get into this real quick. You run the 3 Ignis. Love this card. Not as good as Dynamite though. You run your 2 Maidens. This is an iffy opinion, but I've seen some builds running at 1 or 3 and so on. I like it at 2 the best personally, just because it's an extra monster you have, because I run Desires, and the more monsters that you banish, the more you still also have in the deck. The 1 Dynamite, you could run 3 if he was at 3, but he's at 1, so we deal with him at 1. 2 Amanos. I didn't know how I liked this card in the deck really for the Nats. I mean, it was okay. I never really drew into it where it was helpful. It was just always just there, and I never really needed it. But it's a good card nonetheless. 3 Diagrams and your 3 Terraformings. Obviously you play in True Draco. It's the soul basically of the deck. You play 3 Disciples and 3 Heritage as the spell card tributes. Basic, you always run 3 and 3 of these in Pure. You run your 3 Demise, 3 Duality, and your 2 Desires. I didn't originally run Desires, but I started to do it back at the Louisville Regional not too long ago, and I kept it in there ever since. I tried it at 3 once. I'm not a giant fan of it at 3, but at 2 I believe it works just fine, but you can always put it up to 3. It never really hurts the deck though. We moved on to my last spell in the main deck, Called by the Grave. It was actually more useful than I would have thought. I put it in there because I just needed like 2 more sleeves and 2 more cards, and I didn't want to use another Amano because I didn't want the chance of that brickiness. And this card was always helpful because like I would ban, like if they didn't even hand trap me, I could set it, and then for their turn I could banish like their Licorice if one's in the graveyard, or their Lilybell or anything. So it was always really helpful against that. And then for the traps, you run your 3 Apocalypse, 1 Return. Best cards. Best cards in the deck. 10 out of 10. Rivalry, Anti-Spell, Imperial Order, and Solemn Warning. Best floodgates. Well, not floodgate, but best floodgates. Stops Brandish. Majorly what I was playing these cards for. This, I probably would take it out looking back at it. It wasn't ever helpful in the tournament. I just didn't want to cut it out in case I was against a player I needed it against, but I'd probably cut it out looking back at it now. Now for the extra deck, because I am playing as, if you can guess, with an extra deck, True Draco's Meat Reaper. So I'm running the 1 Beals in the side frame for the zombie matchups, or the zombie swarms. Seeing fusions, Mechaba and ABC. I'm not gonna lie, Reaper was probably the most useless, so I'm not gonna say like run it or anything, but I just love having Reaper, though I will not run it again. I'll put in Monarch Erupt next time. I run Volcasaurus because he's the one I can summon, Tornado and Case, Toad, Dante to shut down the 2 decks. I wanted to side summon for dinosaurs, I just didn't think Logia or Adolka were good enough to decide really, and Training Dragon was in most rank 4 deck set, I would think. So I was putting this instead of like Logia or Dolka. And you have to run the Kagari if you're running the Reapers against the modern day, and the Helix, Firewall, Overload, Isolde, and the Electromite, just to kill those decks, because you take away Electromite, Isolde, Kagari, or Helix, you kill those decks almost. And Borload and Firewall, just because Firewall can be crazy, and Borload can get over almost anything in the deck if they're going second, so you just have to be careful of those. And for the last link, I was running Decode, because I was thinking of a 15th card to run the extra deck for my Reaper targets, but nothing really good came to my mind. And I knew probably many decks that were running Link 3, so I was putting in the Decode. But this is like one you could put in for a Shizuku. I just didn't have one at the time, so probably put in a Shizuku, the Sky Striker one. And then for the side deck, 2 cards I never sided the entire day. Imperial Iron Wall. I love the card at every other regional, but at Nats I knew I probably shouldn't have run it, but it was okay. I never put it in though. 1 Evenly Matched. I'd use this in a lot of my games. And the Monarch Stormforth, which I also sided into some of my games, not all of them. 2 cards I never sided in, because I never got Goki once, so there's that. I wish I had gotten the chance to use this, but I'm also glad I didn't get Gokis, because that would not have been a very, very fun day. For the hand traps I'm siding, 3 Droll, 3 Ash, and 3 Reaper. Now, not gonna lie, I never the one time I sided in a Reaper was the time it almost made me lose. So I personally don't want to run this again. I would rather run the Monarch's Erupt, the trap card. But it's not a bad card to run, I just don't feel like it was really worth it. It never paid off for me. And same with the sphere modes, I never sided them, so if you want to run them, then run them. I would always probably run them. Imperial Iron Wall, I would definitely cut for something else. Maybe the 3rd Called by the Grave, most likely, and then you can choose the other one for another floodgate that you want to side in. That's it for my day 2 deck, True Dracos. And for my matchups, it's actually quite weird. My round 1 was against a mirror match. I 2-1'd. Second match was pure Sky Striker, 2-0. I opened up Rivalry and Anti-Spell one of the games, so I really won. Next was another True Draco matchup. Those were the only 2 Draco matchups I won. That was also a 2-1. My next one was Trickstar Sky Striker, 2-0. The 5th round was my first loss of the day, Trickstar Sky Striker, so I lost to that. Then my next one was probably the best one. Dinosaur Mech Knight Chadal Sky Striker. I loved playing against that. It was a fun deck to duel against. I beat it 2-0. My next one was Pure Sky Striker, 0-2. He Diabolist me, and I bricked, so I lost both of those. It happened both times in a row. I never had that really happen. Next game was against Sky Striker Trickstar. That was actually a weird matchup in it. It was near time and everything. So he basically cleared both of our boards, and we were trying to top deck. And I already had 2 cards in hand. Well, I had a duality in hand. I drew into a card, and then I did it, and then I got Desires, and I basically won after that. And my last one was against Pure Sky Striker, and we tied because of time. If we hadn't, I would have won that duel because he bricked and he went first. If that hadn't happened, I would have probably beat him. And yeah, that was my day 2 True Draco deck, and hope you guys enjoyed.